Oh. Welcome to Tumble Tap. Here we go, we have Ben, as you probably met earlier, and Paul, the head brewer of Deviant Dandy. And we're just going to go taste some beers. So what's the first beer?
So the first beer is Steve here. So it's our American Lager, our flagship beer. Yes, it's called Steve. And so it's everything you want from like an American lager. It's got a lot of American hops, really easy drinking. I mean, I'll open it rather than just talk about it.
The name Steve, we came up with the name Steve and trying to think of what could be a good name for, a sort of average sort of type of American style lager. What's out there name-wise, and I don't know. Steve just. I think it's a designer that mentioned Steve actually, who did the can artwork, and you just said, why don't we call it Steve? And I remember Brian and I just sat there and thought, why not? Let's just go with it. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the brand is a little bit ridiculous at times.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I said, it's a nice, refreshing American lager.
Really
so
nice,
it's got El Dorado and Centennial in it. They're the main aroma hops. A little bit of corn in it as well. And then just low bitterness, super refreshing, light, 4.2%. And it's also gluten-free as well. So we've recently started making it gluten-free just to be a bit more accessible, and it's just a little enzyme that we added at the end. So same great beer flavor, just with gluten-free.
Less shit.
Less gut-altering crap.
Yeah.
Well, unless you really love gluten. And you want more gluten, then it's a bit disappointing. I suppose.
I've never heard anyone go to a restaurant and go, I want more gluten. Then double down on
Does this have gluten in it? No, I'm afraid it doesn't.
Take it away.
Put more flour on it, please.
Anything about the can as well? Like, it's a pretty cool can. Hot dogs and some sexy man.
And an artichoke.
And an artichoke, not a hop, apparently.
I can tell you about the artwork, sure. The artwork is inspired by the album cover by a band called the Buzzcocks, which is it's a British sort of punk band, and we kind of just basically stole that idea and put a hop instead of the iron.
Or an artichoke, depending on who you are.
Or an artichoke, depending on who's looking at it. That's kind of like the sort of quick backstory around it.
Next one is Legend Hazard, which is a collab beer we did with Run the Jewels, so the American hip hop duo from the States. And we got together with them, and we were trying to do what kind of beers you want to make, and the guys love smoking weed. Okay. They love it, and they're really
they're pretty open about it.
They're pretty open about it, so they wouldn't mind me saying it. But so basically we kind of talked with them, what kind of beer do you want to make? So we basically decided on trying to make a beer that smelt like marijuana.
Oh god, who then?
Yeah, so there's no THC in it, no CBD, so nothing funny. So it's just the terpenes, which is the oils derived from the oils which give the aroma to weed. So there's nothing else in it. Got isolated that from a guy. So we found a supplier in Amsterdam. Sounds dodgy, but
just in the street.
Found this guy, just came up, opened his French gun. What about the goods? So found this guy, sent it over. We had like a load of different weed strain aromas to choose from, like sour diesel, AK-47, watermelon OG, and then we tried them all. And
for someone who doesn't smoke, by the way,
he
seems to know a lot of these
suspicious amount.
I've an eidetic memory because I never smoke. I can remember what we sampled.
That's what it is.
Oh,
that's definitely what it is.
Yeah.
Yes, Mum, that's what it is. So we sampled all these different ones, and the best one that went with the beer. A lot of them actually weren't that great, but the watermelon OG, which is the one we used, was actually really, really good. So it kind of complemented the American lager aspect, which we were going for again, and also kind of give it a bit of a fruity character, but also had that dank character that you get from obviously from the watermelon OG.
Yeah.
The devil's lettuce.
Oh yeah, it says it on the back of the can.
So how did that relationship form then with
Run the Jewels.
Run the Jewels? Yeah.
Well, that kind of just came about with sort of my background in music and the people that I know in it. I have one of my friends works for the record label distribution company, and sort of word came out around there. I don't know, I guess a group email around the office saying, does anybody know a brewer in London? And it so happened that one of the guys there, my friend, knew that I'd started the brewery, because this happened, fairly early when we started the brewery, and yeah, just said, my friend Ben, he started the brewery, they're doing this, and yeah, happened very quickly from there. Put me in touch with the manager. We had 2 phone calls, got along, and that was it.
Cool.
And here we are with one
it was
beer.
cool. We got to meet them as well, so we got to bring them a case as well, and to Finsbury Park where they were playing in London, and they were supporting like Queens of the Stone Age, Iggy Pop, and the Hives. So we got to meet them, got to go backstage. It was really nice, kind of cool. Only briefly because obviously they had to jump and go on stage.
Was that like a limited run then that you did, or is it kind of an ongoing thing? Or like...
Well, I mean, we only did one batch of it.
Yeah.
It is something we can carry on doing. We might but,
that's nice.
But try to have a bit of a play with some new recipes, and
it's quite nice to think there's a limited run as well then, and then you can just do these limited runs of bands.
We could redo it next year, for example.
We'll
see.
Yeah.
It's definitely where the market's going in London as well. Like a lot of people, they want they want to try the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So many more bars now have like just rotating taps as opposed to single taps. But even like people go to the bottle shops, and that's why it's in like a 440ml can. Because like a beer like that's like, what the hell, you put like weed terpenes in it. It's kind of a beer that you can share with your friends, and you get more out of the 440ml than you do the 330. So it's kind of like handy like that. But yeah, it was really fun to do, to be fair. It was pretty nerve-wracking by the end, just trying to get it ready, and I think I was here till like 9 or 10 o'clock the night before. I was just like hoping the carbonation was right, making sure everything was okay.
And it was very last minute.
Yeah.
That everything got agreed, and
Showbiz.
Yeah, exactly.
It is, but
anything interesting about the can? Design looks cool.
Oh, the artwork.
I love the name as well, actually. Did they name it? Sorry.
It's the name of one
of their singles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of the singles
one
called
of the popular
Legendary.
one,
yeah. And it's a massive tune. A really cool video, actually. Definitely
I haven't
check
seen the
it
video
out.
for it.
Yeah.
It's on my Spotify, but I haven't seen the video for it.
It's a very cool video.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's the artwork for the single, and that's
But minus the hash leaves?
Yeah.
No, they're all
The
in
hash
there.
leaves on it too?
Look, if you look at the artwork, there's these like.
Oh, I just thought you superimposed them on it.
No, they're all in there, and then there's lots of small ones now in the bottom.
Very cool.
No, it's good, it's good.
Oh shit! Sorry, guys.
Family show, no swearing.
Sorry.
I didn't swear, did I?
You said shit.
No. Oh. No, bollocks.
Crumbs.
Yeah, so the next one we've got here is Trust, which is our American Pale Ale. Very true to type for American Pale Ale. So it's got like Cascade, Simcoe, and then just to kind of do a little bit of a twist on it, we put in Rakow as well, which is a New Zealand hop. So I'll throw it around there and see what you guys think.
And you mentioned that a lot of your artwork was very kind of either punk rock, or then this is kind of more the flamboyant
acid drip
style. Acid
they
drip.
can describe that as.
Yeah, I mean that's a very sort of psychedelic 60s Fillmore style artwork. It actually looks really cool on like black light.
I was going to say, is it like glow in the dark?
Well, it's not. It isn't. Like it doesn't have like UV paint in it or anything, which would be absolutely amazing if we could afford it, and maybe something to do one
That'd
day.
be so cool.
Yeah.
But that one doesn't really need it. Like
No.
you actually put it under, those lights, and it does look quite wild.
Sell it at raves or something if it catches the eye, yeah, in a dark room.
Yeah, I mean, do ravers like the sort of 60s psychedelic style
They'll drink
thing?
anything when they're...
Everyone likes anything if you're around.
Oh no.
No, I was going to say maybe don't even drink beers. At these
Water.
Lots of water.
Does this say anything there?
Yeah, it does say something actually. Actually, let me look at the can because I always forget one letter out of it. But it does say in cervecia confidimus, which means in beer we trust.
Nice.
It was actually the first beer that we put into cans. And I
I didn't know
remember like thinking, oh, what could we put on the can? I thought, oh, you know what, in beer we trust. Maybe that's like a message, you know.
I think we put. Did we put that on the bottom of one of the cans as well? On like the first can that I did.
Yeah, so we sometimes put these little Easter eggy laser sort of engraved things in the bottom of our cans.
Oh, yeah.
Like this one, for example, says, "Can't trust this."
Yeah.
If you recognize the.
Yeah. So like this one, "Don't be a stranger." They all say different things.
Oh, very good.
So we'll have to do that. It's kind of a fun thing we do on canning day with them that can who are third-party canners who come in and can it for us. And now you come up like, what's the most kind of mad name we can put on the back of a can? With I think it's like 20 characters or something. You can use a really small amount of space.
20 characters. Play with it.
Yeah. But it's good. Oh, so the beer anyway. So it's Cascade, Simcoe, and Rakow. So you kind of on the aroma you get that little bit of floral from the Cascade, and you also get like this fruity and then tropical fruit character from like the Simcoe and the Rakow, which is something I really like that you get from the. Feel like the Rakow brings it through a lot, and. Also, as well, there's a little bit of oats in there just to kind of carry it and smooth out the body as well. So and just be really fucking crushable, basically.
It's really nice. I'm a massive pale ale fan, so that's my jam right there.
To be fair, that's actually my favourite as well, just because I like beers that I can drink a lot of and not get drunk.
Yeah.
Like Imperial Stouts.
That's how you go from a beer festival to a taxi before it closes, which I've done. It's like, oh, you gotta try this Imperial Stout. It's barrel aged. Like, I'll try that. It's like, I haven't eaten in 3 hours, but okay.
Yeah, I'll take a pint of it.
Yeah, cool. And then it's just like
and an Uber back home.
Do you guys do a stout?
We do actually. Yes, we do. We don't have it in our cans at the moment. So it's just the can range, but we do a Imperial Stout. Maybe we can try it at the end. We do an Imperial Stout with figs, so dried figs, cacao nibs, and things called tonka beans.
Oh wow, that actually sounds pretty.
Yeah, so it's 8%. Again, a lot of oats in that too. We boiled it for 3 hours as well to get that kind of increased like Maillard reaction, caramelization in the kettle to really smooth it out and smooth out the roastiness as well. So yeah, it was fun. I was here till midnight. Started at 8.
That's a common occurrence.
That was a long brew day.
It was a long brew day. I started at 8 and finished at midnight.
Oh god. Yeah.
Yeah. My only thing was I wish I could have just drank it straight away once it was finished brewing, but I gotta wait.
I guess it's a thing, right? You sit there and brew it all day and
Just make sugary liquid and the yeast makes the beer, so
yeah.
kind of almost. It's amazing how so many people think that it's like, oh, is it ready? Can we drink it at the end? And I was like, I'm gonna wait like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's kind of what it is.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it's not like cooking, you know, when you're
Tasting
preparing
it as you
something.
go.
Well, you're tasting it as well. I mean, you might be tasting things as you go, but it wouldn't taste like beer.
Yeah.
Tasting other things, but you know, when you're cooking, when you finish, you get to eat.
To be fair, my favourite thing to do is like if you ever have someone who's like just come along for a brew day and something, and then you give them. So when you have like when you separate the grain from the what's now sugary liquid in the first bit in the mash, and you separate it off and you get that wort and you give it to them and they're like, oh, this is really nice. It's sugary. It's warm. It's lovely. And the trick I used to play is like once you're finished cooling in, you pull off again. It's like, oh, try it now after you've added the hops and boiled it. So it's bitter and sugary and it's not a nice flavour. It's like, oh yeah, you should try it now. And they're like, ah.
It's a little prank.
Yeah, it's just fun to do. So the next one we have here is our strange brew, which is, as the name would suggest, is quite strange. So it is
After a song by Cream.
Oh yeah.
How was it?
Yeah, it's named after Cream.
They have a song called Strange Brew. Cream being the band that Eric Clapton was in.
Yeah, and that's exactly why, because it's a cream ale hybridized or mashed up with a red ale, hence the colour. So I did it again. I poured myself first. I've been very greedy, man.
So rude.
Very greedy.
Is that a thing to pour other people's?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
I mean, especially with wine. I don't know about beer, but with wine, you should always pour other people's glasses.
yeah, you should always
first.
pour yourself last.
Wow, I've been a dickhead for years.
Thing is, yeah,
And I'll be extra conscious of that.
it doesn't count when you're drinking on your own, though.
Oh, that's different. Okay.
Yeah, no. So it's a red ale cream ale hybrid. So it has a little bit of speciality, more like amber malt, unique, a little bit of roast barley just to get the colour, and then the cream ale style comes in where it's dual fermentation with lager and ale yeast, and it also has like a little bit of corn in it too. Same as Steve, and it It also has super low bitterness, so it's very easy drinking. And then just to kind of push the boat out further on the name with Strange Brew, we used a what Ben describes as a venereal disease of this
Well, it
hop.
sounds like one.
As this hop called HBC 472, which is one of the new hops that's coming out of the States.
Okay.
So it gives us kind of like barrel aged quality with like barrel like a virgin oak barrel aged quality, but it's getting like a bit of coconut, a little bit of cedar, coupled with the malt. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting beer, and yeah, I really like it. I kind of have to say that, don't I? But, you know, I do genuinely like it.
3 cans deep, you like them all.
3 cans. 2 cans.
Nice. That's smoky.
Yeah, you kind of get that like that kind of. It's almost like kind of like a very kind of like subtle woody kind of. I don't know. It's really hard to. It's almost hard to put your finger on as well at times.
That's why it's called Strange Brew.
Yep.
Because nobody can put their finger on it. Really, I mean, it's.
No.
Did you know what, when you added these things to it, did you know what you're kind of coming up with? Was that like a sheer experiment where you just kind of ploughed into just...
I just kept making it. I just kept making it stranger and stranger, and I didn't know how to stop.
Just adding stuff.
No, because I really went with the name, and it was funny because it used to be a different kind of beer. But when I first started, because I only joined the guys in March 2018, so I've been going a while before that. And Strange Brew I thought was just very much like Steve, and they were both kind of American hopped, both very similar, and then like original cream ale is quite similar to an American lager. So when I thought, I was like, how can we differentiate it if it's going to be part of our core range? You know, we want to have different ones. So kind of thought of just going for the more maltier angle, and then with the Strange Brew aspect of hybridizing 2 styles together, because why not?
Yeah.
And and then just kept going from there. And then I tried this hop over in Hop Harvest 2 years ago, this HBC 472 one, and it was like mad, and all the hop growers were banging on about it. Like it's really weird, really unique. So I was like, fuck it, let's throw some of that in too. So yeah, I'm really kind of happy with it now, and it's kind of it's really kind of taken its kind of gone on its own little story, little journey to be Frankenstein's monster of a beer.
It tastes good.
That's good, as long as it doesn't taste like Frankenstein. That's fine.
How do you know what Frankenstein tastes like?
I'd imagine it's like licking anything sweaty and green. Not nice.
Cool.
You weren't expecting that answer, were you?
There we go. Oh, so quick.
I guess you're not a fan of chartreuse then.
Nope, not a fat man's belly for sure.
Which is nice and green.
So was it called Strange Brew before you...
Yeah, no, it was always called Strange
Brew.
Brew.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the cream song. It's a cream song, and
Yeah, I mean, Strange Brew and Trust were the sort of the 2 first beers and recipes that we had. So it's never changed.
What's the can about? Because I think I love that can. I think that's an amazing can.
yeah, we do like badges and stuff for those too.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Well,
Just everything. I love it.
it's just it's that sort of weird psychedelic vibe on it.
Yeah. Eyes.
I do remember the rays were the designer said that the rays coming out of the eyes were supposed to be these creamy things, but
I mean,
this beer is not cream. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a sort of cream ale, but there's no cream in it,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
definitely not white. And the creaminess
That
comes
reminds me.
from something completely different.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's
it's pretty
the
cool.
style of this artwork is very much, the type of stuff that the artists who worked on our cans does. A lot of these faces with weird eyes and
That's the
weird patterns.
That's the back of my business card. Is the Strange Brew our logo?
Yeah.
So it's back of the business cards. Is that one?
Yeah.
And we do we're seem to be making like a T-shirt with it. It's definitely my favorite branding anyway for sure that we do. The reason we put lawnmower ale on it and not cream ale is because cream ale isn't a commonly known style over here in the UK, and we found that when you tell people it's cream ale, we're like, "Well, it's got lactose in it." It's like,
Yeah.
no, because the cream ale aspect is to the origins I'm unsure of, but I know it has something to do with just generally how smooth it is.
Isn't it?
It's nothing to do. There's never lactose.
I thought it's to do with the corn. Like corn is sort of creamy, I guess.
Maybe that's it. To be honest, I'm not sure. It's not a style I would be overly familiar with before I came here.
I think that when I first had a cream ale, I was like, it must have cream in it or something. It must be something
you
to
just
do
assume
that.
like milk stout.
Or you
Yeah.
think a stout, or something like that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's absolute. I mean, now it kind of looks a bit more like it doesn't look like a stout, but it's closer to that color. A cream ale is very, very light colored. So if you're buying a can of Strange Brew and it says cream ale on it, and you have no idea what you're getting, and then you get this very light lager-esque sort of beer, you'd be very disappointed.
Yeah.
So we call it a lawnmower ale.
Yeah, that makes
Instead.
total sense.
What does this one say on the bottom, or did you?
Don't be a stranger.
Don't be a stranger. There we go, kids.
See,
Don't be a
now
stranger.
you can just keep looking at the bottom of our cans and see what it says. We did have. You can cut this one if you'd like, but we did do is one where we made a 24 pack of Steve.
Yeah.
So the first run off, we to basically fuck with our accounts guy Stephen, who's one of the investors in the company and also does a lot of the books for us. He's like, without him, we'd probably be spending wildly. But no. So to fuck with him, I told the guys in the canning line to do the first 24 pack and say gluten-free cunt on the bottom. Because it's supposed to say gluten-free, so I was like, just put cunt on the end and see what happens. So I was like, alright, just put cunt on the end. But we packed that away anyway, and I was like, I'm going to show this evening and tell them I put them on the bottom of every one of them. And they lose their shit. So anyway, we're there anyway. I never really got to tell them, and then we kind of forgot about it. And then at some point we were doing a stock take, like I think it was like a month or two later, I can't even remember. But we're doing a stock take. I was like, Ben, where's that gluten-free cunt case? And he's like, I don't know. And I was like, oh shit.
It was like a little black dot. Something fell and it had a string on it.
I'll let you introduce this.
I'll have a little. I'll have a little bit.
You'll have to know. I'm not gonna like. I will only give you like a dabble.
Okay.
I'm not going to give you a
gaggle.
Would you like to introduce it?
Okay. So
Wait,
you can't pour it into this glass.
this is where all bad ideas begin, right?
Yep.
With 5 cans of beer.
Yep.
So what this is the original. This is the original of one of these beers, right?
Strange Brew.
Okay.
Yes.
This is the
It's
original
vintage.
Strange Brew. This is what you came into and decided it's not quite fitting with the range.
We
right?
found this at the back of our warehouse. So this is about I want to say nearly 2 years old. Year and a half, 2 years old. So Sam, do you want to introduce why you're drinking it?
It's bottle aged.
I don't know why I'm drinking it.
Well, Sam's drinking it.
I'm drinking it because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, Sam's drinking it because the first time we recorded it, you didn't put the sound on.
Okay, that's what that is.
That's why you're doing it. And as a forfeit, I told him he would do this.
Okay, fine.
Because I stayed brewing.
Okay, fine. What would you do if this is delicious right now?
Find that recipe.
And you're on to the money maker.
Isolate this strain of whatever's in this.
I mean, there's a bit of stout rolling around in that, to be fair.
Yeah.
So do you want to smell it? I mean,
Oh,
I do want to
God.
smell.
all I can smell is the stout. to be
I'm
fair.
smelling stout there.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. That's masked.
You can't drink it before I drink it. No, is that real?
I'm totally fucking with you, it's fine.
Okay, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's actually fine. It's all smoke and mirrors.
It's all smoke and mirrors. No, that's okay. That's all right.
It does taste old though.
Well,
Is that masked? Okay, so
My-
it kind of just tastes like Foster's, basically. That's what's
Run a
happened
winner.
to it.
Wow.
There we go, Foster's.
I'm not going to be offended by that at all because it is 2 years old.
There we go. Foster's, your beer tastes 2 years old.
Oh, it does, man.
Wow.
I think it really does. I think it tastes like a Carlsberg or a Foster's.
Well,
Everyone's just like, yeah, why not?
Fine. Hey. Do you know that why that is? Because we're great brewers.
Yeah.
There we go.
to be honest,
Yeah.
It just tastes. Ugh.
it's just a bit bland, but it's.
It does smell its age though. To be fair.
Yeah, but I didn't have to spit it out immediately. It was sort of,
Yeah, no,
like
that's
it,
true.
it didn't. It wasn't extra sour, which would have been one thing.
It's going back for seconds.
I want to taste it
It's
without
the only beer you've come back for seconds on.
No. I just want to taste it without the sour, but yeah.
You can have a bottle if you want.
Yeah.
I think
Vintage.
you probably can't sell that in any way, shape or form.
No.
It tastes
You can try.
it tastes a little worse on its own, but not. It's not rubbish.
It smells a bit like nail polish.
the good nail polish, like
Yeah, the high end shit.
yeah, the high end stuff.
Well, I mean,
Not
that's,
no Primark crap.
that's definitely something that was put in there on purpose. The nail polish.
So it was actually
The
just
aroma.
again the,
To get the
dandy
get
is
the
in
female
Detroit.
market, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
Christ, no.
It was in collaboration
Yeah.
with what is it, Rimmel or I don't know what nail polish company
That's
brands.
not nice. That's not nice.
No, I don't know either. It's not, but like 2 years old then.
Yeah,
Give it some
yeah.
credit.
No, but like, it's still
It's a vintage, like you
Yeah, but
say,
some
it's
beers
vintage.
will get better.
to be
with
fair,
age.
it doesn't have a lot of oxidation. It just tastes a bit weird on the palate.
Mm.
You get a nail polish vibe, which is also strange.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know what kind of nail polish you're sort of used to, but
ones
I
that
find
are
nail
Good
polish.
quality now.
Well, if you-
malt-based nail polish. Like,
obviously,
obviously.
it's like hoppy nail polish.
Yeah. Got my Cascade polish. Cool. All right.
Fun times.
Done.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Done and dusted. No
you.
worries.
Awesome.